And it is time for your Wednesday Wellness Wake Up, brought to you by Napa Massage and Body Care. And with us, Dr. Sharon.
Good morning,
Hey, it's so good to see you.
It's been a while.
I know. I missed you the last time because I was out.
Bob was great, though. Yeah. He was a good little fill-in for you.
Good.
But it's never the same without you.
Aww.
Well, we have a special guest today, China Rose Reid, who you and many of your listeners know was formerly the Wednesday Wellness Wake Up host.
I
Good
know.
morning,
China Rose. So nice to see you.
It's so awesome to be here. Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming in on this rainy morning to be with us. I have been so interested in talking to China Rose, you know, as a nutritional therapist and herbalist. She's a private practice here in Napa, and she does some work at Pharmaca, to really find out why men or women come in to counsel with her. You know, what are the reasons people might seek?
That's a good question.
You know, nutritional or herbal counseling. And so, you know, China Rose, you agreed to come in and kind of give us your top 5, you know, so thanks for being here.
No problem.
That is a good question. I like that.
Yeah, you know, it's some of these issues that people come in with are just so common that people either live with them day to day and just think, well, this is just the way it is, or they, you know, try to medicate themselves in different ways. And I just like for people to know that there are options for them, and, you know, it's really simple things they can do in their life to help with these common situations. So the first thing that people commonly come in for is fatigue, like just a loss of vitality. Like, I don't feel the way as good as I did 5 years ago, or my energy level isn't where it was, you know, even 2 years ago. So, you know, what I really asked just some common questions at first. It's like, are you drinking enough water? You know, that amazingly.
Oh, you don't even think of that.
I know.
When you think of vitality, water? I'm thinking vitamins. I'm thinking
sleep.
But water, because that can fatigue you if you're not staying hydrated.
If you're dehydrated, yes. I mean, water helps flush toxins out of the body. It helps to move nutrients into cells. You feel refreshed when you're hydrated. So it's one of those simple things. We talked about this in the past. You know, you take your body weight and divide it by 2. That's how many ounces of water generally you'd want to drink in a day. And if you exercise a lot and you sweat a lot, you want to drink even more than that.
But that means actual water. That doesn't mean tea, or does that mean, you know, sparkling water or juices? You're talking about just pure
water, but also anything that's decaffeinated or doesn't have sugar in it. So even herbal teas count towards your hydration, as long as they're not diuretic. Or some teas like nettles and dandelion, you know, are diuretic, so they remove more water. But most herbal teas count towards your hydration, so that's really important. Exercise, I think, you know, again, it's a simple thing, but when we get into the groove of exercising regularly, then our energy levels are just amazing. It's just getting over that hump of jumping into.
Well, I'm tired. I don't want to exercise.
Right. But it's amazing if even a couple of weeks of, you know, 3 days a week doing, you know, half an hour walks or something like that can make a huge difference in energy. I always talk about blood sugar stability with people too. I think we don't think about the fact that our food is our fuel. You know, if we were a car, we need to put gas in our car. So if we're skipping breakfast, or we're not eating about every 3 hours, at least a little snack, something protein rich, then we start to run out of gas, and that makes total sense. If we eat too much sugar or too many carbohydrates at one time, then that'll spike our blood sugar, and then it'll drop that much more, and that'll make us even more tired. So a lot of us get that like late afternoon slump, you know, right after lunch. And that's, you know, if you eat too many carbs, or if you have a big soda with your lunch, you know, your blood sugar is spiking, and then you're that much more tired afterwards. So think about eating every 3 hours, definitely within the first hour that you get up in the morning, and that makes a big difference with your energy level.
Are there are there other things that you actually recommend people take in terms of herbal supplements or nutrition that's not related to just water or exercise? Are there actually supplements that that if someone walked into you might recommend to
Definitely, yeah. B vitamins can be really helpful for people who are under stress and are fatigued because of that. I like food-sourced supplements. So these are vitamins, you know, in pill form or powder form, but they come from foods. And that's my favorite way of using vitamins, is that most natural form. So like a B complex can be really helpful. I like the herb rhodiola for energy. It's not a stimulant. It's not a source of caffeine, but it just helps to give you more stamina and endurance. So it's good for people who are having a low energy level. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Well,
I was just going to say cordyceps is a medicinal mushroom I use in the same way. It oxygenates the blood. It makes you feel more energetic. But again, it's not a stimulant, so we're not going overboard
like
with
caffeine
this.
Or what have you.
Exactly. Green food powders, like spirulina.
Oh, I've seen that.
Barley grass, wheatgrass. They make combinations of these things. Those are really helpful because again, they oxygenate the blood and they help detoxify as well, which can make you feel more energetic.
And those can be put into water. They can be or into a smoothie.
Definitely.
Or into something that you don't have to necessarily, make a separate category for right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when you talk about these common issues that people come in for, I think the issue of fatigue and trouble sleeping kind of go hand in hand. I know you said that was kind of the number 2 thing, trouble sleeping. So how do we deal with people who just either don't get enough sleep, have trouble sleeping, wake up often?
I always ask, again, some basic questions. Are you having a lot of caffeine throughout your day? I'll ask them that question. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm having, a coffee at 3 p.m. Well, it's no wonder you're having trouble sleeping. It's just like people need support in looking at their habits and how they affect their situations. What are your pre-bedtime activities? Are you watching TV, to fall asleep, which can actually be overstimulating? Are you on the computer until you want to go to bed? That's also overstimulating. As far as asking questions to decide, maybe what herb or supplement to recommend, some people have more trouble falling asleep, and other people have trouble staying asleep. And those are 2 totally different situations to me as an herbalist, especially. So if someone's tense and having, maybe even muscle pain due to their tension or stress, and that's causing them trouble sleeping, then I might recommend kava, which is an herb, or passion flower. There are teas, there are capsules, there's a lot of different ways to take these herbs, but those are very relaxing to both the muscles and the nervous system. So great to help you ease into sleep. If you have an active mind, like I know some days I have this to-do list running in my head, and that keeps me up or wakes me up. Valerian is very good for that. Calms Forte is a homeopathic remedy that I use for that. And it's Calms Forte, being homeopathic, is very safe for the general public to take. There's no interactions with pharmaceutical drugs, so that's a nice option.
While you're talking about pharmaceutical drugs, do you have people come who say, I've always had trouble sleeping, I've been taking Ambien or another sleeping pill for years, and I'd like to get off of that? Or would you be able to help someone like that who would come in to ease them off of a pharmaceutical to go towards an herbal remedy?
That is something that I've done commonly, and what I do is I like to create, a relationship with their general practitioner as well, either through my client or directly even. And, basically I'll present my client with options. Here are some natural options, and then let's talk to your doctor about, how best to come off of that pharmaceutical. And, maybe you need to wean off of it. Maybe it's not something you just stop taking right away. Yeah. So, it's definitely a possibility, but I like to do it in the safest way possible.
It's nice that that you have practitioners that can work with you as well.
That is good.
Yeah.
It's the way of the future.
Exactly.
Sure. So what would number 3 be?
So number 3, digestive discomfort. I think this comes in a lot of different pictures, regular gas and bloating, or maybe acid reflux or constipation. And I've noticed a lot of people just live with these things and think, well, this is just the way my system works. And maybe they take something every day to have to alleviate some of these symptoms. So I obviously talked with them about food. Are there certain foods that seem to be bothering you? Because food sensitivities can be really common, like to maybe something like wheat or gluten or dairy products. Or maybe it's just that they're eating too much at a sitting, or eating too quickly. A lot of times people eat so fast.
It is surprising. Even I sometimes will eat too fast, but I've noticed other people, sometimes they just wolf it down, but we're not thinking about that can really affect our digestive
Big
system.
time, yeah. You need to give your body time to make enough, digestive enzymes and stomach acid to break down all of those things. So that's one of the biggest things you can do right away is just slow down, take some deep breaths. I'll ask questions to kind of get an idea of what's going to work best for people, but digestive enzymes are a really good tool. Those are things that you take. It's usually in a pill form at the beginning of each meal to help you break down your food more efficiently, and that can really cut down on things like gas and bloating especially. Probiotics are really helpful. They help us also break down foods, and also really good for constipation. That can be really helpful. And these are just the beneficial bacteria that are naturally found in yogurt. And so some people just will eat yogurt regularly, or you can take probiotics in a stronger potency in a pill form. If someone has a lot of acid reflux, DGL or aloe vera are very good options. DGL is deglycerized licorice, and they're both just very soothing to irritated tissue. They can help right away if you're having a burning or pressure. There are teas, that contain peppermint and chamomile and fennel.
Seems like peppermint would make it burn more.
For heartburn, you're right. I totally agree with you. I don't use it for heartburn, but I guess more for just like an upset stomach.
Or
It calms
lower
the
GI.
calms
Lower
the stomach.
Yeah, gas and bloating lower in the intestine. Fiber can be helpful for a lot of people. I like to recommend that people maybe try something other than psyllium. And psyllium is what's in Metamucil, which is the most popular fiber. But it absorbs so much water out of the digestive tract when you take it. It requires that you drink a lot of water in order for it not to get compacted or hard in the digestive tract, or not dehydrate the walls of the intestine. And a lot of people don't drink enough water to make that not an issue. So
I think the other huge issue with digestive issues is those people that just rely on Tums or
good point.
Right.
other medications that actually really cut down on the absorption of other nutrients, and they get very dependent on those. And it's so, you recommend, complete diets for people. If someone were to come in and say, geez, would you be able to do that? Give them a real diet plan?
Definitely. Yeah, and I make things, I do my best not to create such changes that people feel overwhelmed. We a lot of times, I want to get a feel for what they're ready for. Maybe we change a couple of things at a time and add a supplement, so I want people to know it's, I try to meet people where they're at and help them move forward from there.
So how would someone find you, China Rose, if they wanted to get some of these, whether it's about weight loss or hormonal imbalances or some of these other common reasons that people might seek nutritional or herbal counseling? How do they find you here in Napa? I'm
downtown. My office is on 3rd Street. My website is chinarosewellness.com. My phone number is 344-0002.
That's 707?
Yeah.
344-0002. Okay, ChinaRoseWellness.com. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's great to have you back.
A lot of information. It's wonderful to find safe, effective ways to take care of ourselves. So.
Absolutely. Very helpful. And thank you, Dr. Sharon.
Yeah, great to see you. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
That's your Wednesday Wellness Wake Up brought to you by Napa Massage and Body Care. And